Hi.
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 Hi. Hello, audience. I hope
Hello.
everybody's doing a good day today.
Yeah.
This is a long day. I kind of like it though. Because I got that big split in the middle of the day. If I do the coffee house and then tarot, pretty good. I just need that little break in between, or because my legs don't like, my arthritic knees hate me sitting in chairs.
Oh.
So I can last 2 hours. Actually, as long as I get up and like walk to the bathroom and back, not even use it, but to the bathroom and back, they're fine.
Yeah. Aww.
Just for a little longer. Plus, I use magic salve.
Here comes Jelly Bean.
Jelly Bean.
Come on, Jelly Bean. I saw your little thing turn on.
Oh.
Her little thing over here turned on.
Oh.
So we are discussing music of the... Oh, there she is.
There's a new picture.
It's her.
Aww.
Jelly Bean, did you see my new glasses yet?
Yeah, you showed them during coffee house, right?
I know Eliza can see them. These are my new frames.
Ooh.
Isn't that
Nice. Yeah.
I usually when I bought them, they came with that same plastic for the arms, the bows.
Yeah.
And these are metal, and I don't know if that's better or worse.
Oh.
It's just
Now,
weird.
are those for short or long distance?
Those are nothing but plastic right now. I'm gonna take it with me to the eye doctor.
Oh, they're just frames.
They're just
Got
frames.
it. Got
I got another pair that's cat like that, but has red jewels all over the corners. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Liza, what book did you pick?
I picked Music of the Bees by Eileen Garvin. Have you guys been enjoying it?
I really
I've only
like
read the first 2 chapters.
I know.
I didn't read anything because my eyes aren't working. We have hope.
Oh.
I tried
okay.
twice. I was like,
Okay.
I can't see it.
Ah. Darn, we should have called each other. Could have read it to ya.
Somebody said hubby should read it to me, and I'm like, no. If he reads to me, the
I think
kids will
that
be
was
so
me.
jealous.
I said that hubby should read it as a bedtime story.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Or you could get the digital one and it'll read it to you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't find the
that's
digital
true.
one because that's what I originally was looking for, so I could Reader's Digest.
It's on
those
Kindle.
big magazines from Reader's Digest with the
'Cause
font that's like this.
That's what we did. We read the digital version on Kindle because Chris
Oh,
let
yeah?
me
I
borrow
didn't see
hers. Yeah.
Pardon me.
But as
And
me
my
and
library
Eliza,
has the audio version, so I listened to it on my way home from my in-laws this afternoon, just so I could recap everything.
Awesome.
Oh, good. Cool.
yeah, as far as me and Eliza found out the hard way, our libraries don't have digital copies of that book. From New York to North Carolina, we cannot find that book in a library.
That's
Oh my gosh.
crazy, isn't
We had to
it?
find it in Kindle. I had to borrow
It's crazy.
Chris's
crazy,
account.
crazy.
Luckily, she loaned me her account for a time for
Yeah.
us to be able to read this book.
Yeah. That was nice.
But so far, I think it's going to be a really good book. Like, I'm enjoying the first 2 chapters so far. I'm ready to read the next 2 chapters. I was just waiting for the first show so I can read the next 2 chapters. I'm trying to keep the shows like based off of what we've read. And if I read far ahead, then I'm going to be throwing in spoilers because I can't help it and it's unintentional. So I'm trying to behave and not slip up. If I
Mama
don't know
Chris,
about
when
it,
you
I can't
first
spill it.
when you first started reading it, what did you think? Was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you like the first chapter? Is there anything like stood out for you?
It really gave a sense of what the rest of the book is going to be like.
Nice summary, yeah.
Yes.
I think
How
it
about
was
you,
a
Jelly
great
Bean?
I think it was a great introduction. When I started reading it, at first I was a little confused because I typically am when I first start a book.
It's a new world. You're just getting used to it.
But once you get into that first chapter, because the first chapter I think is where I finally got my footing and my bearings, or at least at the end of the first chapter and the very beginning of the second chapter, that's when you start to realize what Chris is talking about when you see like where the book is going from here.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's going to read for you. Because it seems to be where it's going to be one of those books that it's an alternating pattern between this person's story and then the next chapter is this person's story, and then at some point along the way those intersect. Yep. And it seems to happen a lot sooner than what you would anticipate.
Anne Rice has a book called Mayfield Witches, and that's each chapter is present time and a file that should read about the past. Present time, and I wasn't sure I was going to dig it, but about the fifth one, I was like, okay, I'm liking this. I like it. Mm. So it takes some time.
It takes a while for me to get into a book and start to enjoy it when it's not an author that I am familiar with their style. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I get bored with books really easily. I love to read, but I'm really picky over what I read.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm very similar. What about you, Eliza? How's the first chapter doing for you?
I think that she is very descriptive. She's a very descriptive writer, and that's keeping me very captivated.
That's cool.
So.
But not like Stephen King, where it takes her a whole chapter to describe a meadow.
Right? Oh my god.
No.
Stephen King did that.
That would put my ass to sleep.
That was it. I wasn't reading his stuff anymore. I can't deal with it.
I'd be writing his butt an email. Look, Mr. King, I don't need to know how many dewdrops are on each leaf of the berry bushes in the meadow, okay? Can we please move this along a little bit?
It was flat and green. It was a sprinkling of flowers.
He probably got paid by the word.
Oh, I'm sure
there you go.
Probably. Because apparently either that or his teachers didn't ever teach him less is more. Mm-hmm. Leave a little to the imagination.
So who's the main character of the book?
Well, there's two main characters. We've got Alice and Jake.
For now.
Eliza, who do you
Well,
like?
we're talking about the first two chapters.
I know. We're talking about the first two chapters.
Just the first two.
Are we cheering anybody on?
I wouldn't necessarily say.
Right now, they're kind of in an accident. Like, there's been an accident.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Where we left off is where Alice accidentally
ran into Jake.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. I was gonna say she ran over him. and
it was an accident, though.
Yeah, because she was daydreaming while she
was
speeding
too
down the road. Yeah, he was.
He was in his own little world as well.
Yeah, he was like turned his music up and he was just
jamming
speeding down the road.
But he's in a wheelchair, y'all.
The
The poor kid has been through enough, and now he's gonna get plowed by a pickup truck.
Full of bees.
Oh my god.
Full of bees, mind
spot
you.
for Jake. The mom in me has a soft spot for Jake.
I do too.
Oh,
because
I
mean, he did. He was wrestling with his friend. That's all he was doing, and then he slipped and fell off the roof.
But wasn't he also somewhere he shouldn't have been?
Yeah, but still.
So I mean, cause and effect. The parent in me screams, "Karma!
Karma!"
It's what you get for not.
He was showing off for a pretty girl.
So the truck filled with bees, does that mean she's a beekeeper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Alice. Alice.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Not
And
to
Alice.
be confused with Wonderland.
Shush! You took it all away from me before I could find out my myself.
I'm sorry.
I have like 3 Alice in Wonderland books that were written off
There's nothing.
to the side, some modern ones that I really want to read and can't read because I don't have glasses.
Aww.
It's okay. I read it.
So
Tell my
where
mom
is
she probably liked the book.
dear
from
Mel?
what I could tell.
Mel doesn't want to do the book club.
I thought she did.
No,
She decided
doesn't.
no.
Well, poo on you too, Miss Party. I hope you're watching the replay. I still love you though.
Does anybody have the book with them that you could show up on the? I guess I could run it.
I have the digital copy in front of me. I just don't know how to
Go back.
without moving the camera around.
Okay, hold on.
I can go get it. You want me to go get it?
I got it.
Okay. Oh, because my screen is backwards.
Yeah.
I swear it's my camera.
I still think you've got some setting turned on that you haven't figured out how to turn off yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, that could be totally it.
You've got a button somewhere that you pressed that you don't recall.
Yep.
pressing.
Yep.
Yeah, if I could screen share, I don't know how to do that because I have it on my tablet.
Yeah, you can't unless you're whatever device you're using to transmit from is the device you have to share.
Oh. Cool.
No, that's not the device.
Cool.
No,
I was
no.
gonna say if there's a way to screen share from a second device, I can jump in because I usually bounce back and forth. But we were having problems with Coffee House. I wasn't able to jump on with
Yeah.
my tablet. So
Okay, here we go. This isn't a huge picture, but this should help.
Yeah, there we go. Music.
That's
of
the cover I
Bees.
have anyway.
Yep. Eileen Garvin.
When was this written? Does anybody know?
2021, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's a newer writer.
Yep. Yep.
That was a national bestseller and Good Morning America buzz pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Actually,
looking
there's a
forward
lot
to
of-
seeing where it goes in the next few chapters, to be honest. Because of where it left off. Because it was literally like, oops, I just hit a quadriplegic with my truck.
I know.
Paraplegic.
Oh no. And then it's kind of like the old school, what's going to happen next?
I know.
Oh, there's a preview on this. I
There's a
can read it.
preview.
Do each of them have a quote from somewhere else on the top?
Yeah.
I like that. I usually like that a lot.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yep.
So I think I might be able to read the first chapter on my computer.
Oh.
But it's a preview post.
Oh, good.
So I'll be a little up just at least
You'll
I'll
be
know
able
who
to
they are.
read about Jake.
Mhm.
State Farm. You should have had State Farm.
Jelly Bean, you got really quiet.
Yeah, you did, Jolly Bean.
Am I still quiet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that better?
No. Here, let me see what I can do.
It's probably from where I got interrupted with a damn phone call, because, you know, at this time of day, people want to call and blow my phone up.
It wasn't me
No, it wasn't
this
you.
time.
But I hit ignore on the call, and I think it might have caused an issue with StreamYard.
Eliza, is that good?
It sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. I just turned off one of the things that you don't really need and turned up your volume.
Oh,
you're at 156.
Me? I'm at 156.
No, Jolly Bean.
Oh, Jolly Bean is.
Yep. I turned you up so we could hear you.
Turned you up.
Yeah, it was fine until flipping school had to call with their weekly update.
It happens to us all the time.
It's annoying.
Did anybody have any favorite quotes from the book?
Or scenes?
Or favorite scenes from the book? Or the first 2 chapters, I mean.
Not with the first 2
I don't
chapters,
know. We're just getting started.
Really
There's not really been anything exciting happen.
Now the writer is a beekeeper and she lives in Oregon. So, and she wrote something before this one. It was, I can't remember. I know I looked it up though. She wrote a book before this one. I don't remember what it's called now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward
on
to
this,
getting.
She's got a couple of them.
I'm personally looking forward to getting some insight on beekeeping from this book.
And beekeeping isn't as hard as people think it is. It depends on your nerves. And if they make you at all anxious or nervous,
They can smell fear.
It's actually and you can't kill one near any of the other ones because all the other ones will come and attack you.
Yeah.
I mean, because I know that in a book, like, a lot of stuff is fictitious and made up for the most part, unless you're reading a non-fiction story. But I do know with a lot of books that are like what we're reading, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of insightful information from, like, a beekeeper's perspective, and that's what I look forward to learning from, because you can hear, because I mean, I've got a cousin who keeps bees. I know a couple people that raise bees, but as far as, like, hearing a different person's perspective on doing it, like, I don't talk to my cousin like that, you know, we're not close. So it's not like I just randomly want to pop up and be like, yo, hey, cuzzo, tell me about beekeeping. Because I'm not interested in doing it per se. It's just, I'm one of those weird people. I like to learn new things about different.
It's not weird.
Yeah.
Non-typical occupations or hobbies per se.
Yeah.
Like, I just like to learn about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Particularly anything dealing with animals. I'm kind of on board with getting different perspectives. Because, I mean, we do take for granted, like, bees and what they do for us and
we
what
need
they
bees.
provide.
If anybody wants to become a beekeeper, go for it. We need bees.
Oh, yeah.
And keeping them alive, like, because there's so much controversy over different products and things that have been used in farming and our daily lives that are destroying the bee population. And, you know, bees do more than just go to flowers and provide honey. And so I know from, like, a documentary point of view what bees do, but just hearing what a beekeeper has to say or their perspective on things.
I like watching that lady on YouTube, the bee collector. She drives in and she gets them from anywhere. Like, there was this one that was under the lawnmower.
Yes.
In the garage. And I'm watching her.
Did you see, I don't know if it was that particular profile, but I know that I've seen some bee collection videos where somebody had them under the siding of their house.
Yep.
Like the whole wall was consumed with honeycomb
That is
and honey.
big.
And there were bees in the windows and all grapes. Like, this thing was massive.
Wow.
It's
and as soon as you
what they
find
can
that
do.
queen, they all just
find the queen.
Follow her.
Queen,
Yeah.
go.
Wow.
Where's the queen? She smells good. Let's go. That would have been a lot. Do you know how many boxes they had to fill? That had to be more than a 2-boxer.
Ooh, I have no idea how many.
I always think it's a lot when there's 2, but that had to been like at least 4.
I think because some of the hive was like dead and old and wasn't being used, there was a lot of it that they just had to dispose of. But they don't take all of the hive; they take like chunks of the hive and put it in the
parts.
Yeah, they only take like samples of it just for the bees, and they put them into frames. But the main part is just getting the queen because they're just gonna rebuild anyway.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They try to preserve as much as they can, but there's just some that's not.
And then they give us honey, and honey is good.
And
wax.
So many different kinds of honey too, because you got to think how many kinds of flowers there are.
Oh yeah, wildflower Wildflower honey is good. We used to get wonderful apple blossom or orange blossom down here, and now we don't have any more orange trees.
Oh,
there was a blight.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no,
sucks. I had to buy my oranges from California.
Yeah, I've heard that, and there was a documentary I was watching about certain foods and where they come from, and they were talking about the almond groves out in California. And
Jelly Bean, you're very fuzzy.
Sorry.
Let's see what I can do. Oh, that's me, not you.
Do I need to leave and come back?
And it sounds like. And it sounds like do you have a fan going?
My ceiling fan, but it's always on.
Oh.
I don't have like a fan blowing directly in my face. No.
Is that better?
Oh. Is that better?
Hey, don't get quiet on me now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't want to like hurt anybody's ears.
No,
we will.
No.
I promise. I'll say you need to take it down a little bit, honey. If you need to take it down. I do it to my husband all the time because he doesn't hear so good. So every now and then his stories are like shouting at me, and I'm like, you gotta stop. I'm getting worried.
Calm down. Calm down.
And a lot of plants depend on bees for reproduction.
That's true.
Yes. And like I was saying, the almond groves, there's a certain kind of honeybee, or they have to have honeybees because there's no other way to pollinate those trees. And so they were dealing with a lot of sickness with the bees. Like the bees just kept dying and they couldn't figure out what's going on. And human life will cease to exist as we know it. And the happening will happen if we destroy the bees.
Moth.
Yeah.
Get it! I seen it! I seen it! You almost got it! You almost got it!
I think
I got it or scared it away.
Yeah.
I hope you did. You flattened it into the next dimension.
They're teeny little moths.
Yeah, those little moths.
And I thought it was no-see-ums, but they were bigger, so I took a good look at them like, holy cow, you're a moth! Get out of my house! Quit eating my shit!
I'd rather deal with a moth than to deal with the little fruit fly gnat things we get
Those
around
things
here.
drive me insane.
Oh.
And we get them all the time in our bathroom.
If y'all ever see me like start looking off into space when I'm over at my desk, chances are a gnat flew across my computer monitor and it caught my eye, and now I'm trying to get rid of it.
How many times have you hit your screen?
Not any, thank goodness.
I know, me either. I can't.
Because I refuse to hit that expensive screen. Like, as soon as I'll see it, I'll look, and then I'll be looking for it to see where it's at so I can try and catch it and get rid of it. But most of the time, it's gone. I can't see it. And then it'll like fly again, and I'll see it in my peripheral, and it just drives me insane. It's like this little speck.
The queen bee is the only perfect female in the hive, and all the eggs are laid by her. L.L. Langstrom.
I know.
Like that's cool. One of my favorite parts about the whole thing is the little snippet at the beginning of each chapter.
Yeah.
Didn't even go anywhere. She fell off. It looked like I took her off because of the way it did it over here. But this is here. and I'm here, so I did not do it.
We just go boop, bye, Bean.
My fidgety. That's not one of my fidgeties. The one that really drives Mel nuts is when I click a pen. I don't even know I'm doing it.
Gosh darn it.
Did you fall down,
my
go
husband,
boom?
I'm not allowed to have clicky pens around my husband because
For the same reason?
Yeah.
I went to click to view the comments, and when I went to click the comments, my clumsy finger hit the leave button instead of the...
Too hot.
Aw.
I have these great halogen lamps. Somebody told me it was really good for, and they are great for shooting.
We're gonna
but
fry
it gets
the bugs
hot.
that land on your lamp. Let's
No,
fry
they
the
just-
bugs. Let's fry the bugs.
They die.
No, that was
Don't
the
go
comment
into the
word.
light! I can't help it.
So being a ladybug automatically makes me a girl.
Girl, is that it, fly boy?
I love that.
Oh
movie.
Lord, they're gonna end up taking that damn movie off of Disney Plus now because they're gonna claim it's a
No, they'll
drag
just put a
bug.
disclaimer. It'll have a disclaimer, like all the rest of them.
What was I watching that had a disclaimer on it? What was that? Oh,
Rabbit Show.
That's gonna drive me nuts. No, it was a TV show.
Oh,
No, my mom was talking about one the other day, kind of in the same style of Bonanza and all of that. Started with an S.
Oh, the only one I can think of is no, I can't think of it, so never mind. I don't know.
It was an old Western type of TV
Another
show.
Life on Netflix. I don't remember why I brought that up.
now
Sorry.
my brain hurts. 'cause
Disclaimers.
I'm trying to think of the name of the
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
show
They
that
put the
my
disclaimers
granddaddy
before
used
it.
to watch. 'Cause I know he liked Bonanza, but there was another show. Oh, he watched Gunsmoke. That was not start with an F.
Yellow.
I have another question about the book, people.
Yes,
You're
that's
sorry.
Come
A Bug's
back
Life
to
has
the
it.
book.
Male ladybug.
Male ladybug, but Republicans are stupid.
I love it.
Thank you, hubby, for your words of wisdom as always. All hail, hubby.
Yay! I love him. Yeah.
Like, I know it's Vixie's like show and the channel and all, but there's a lot of times that I start to feel like we're either on the Wizard of Oz or it's Charlie's Angels and hubby is Charlie because he's like the brains behind like a lot of techie stuff and he's so smart and he knows so much. But you never see his face hardly ever because he's busy with other things in the background.
Oh, he's gonna have him and Jimmy both have parts in our end credits for the one thing. It is cute.
I miss
Oh.
Jimmy.
So cute.
I was gonna say his
Four
face
pictures.
popped up before Coffee House when it was actually working on my tablet. That's why I couldn't figure out what was going on and why I had black screen and I was booted off the table. I'm like, but I just saw and heard hubby like everything.
He was there, I swear.
But it was like, whoop, there he is and gone, and the show started.
You ready
I'm
for
sorry
my
I didn't read it.
question.
I feel bad.
What similarities are there between Alice and Jake?
None so far. She's an old lady. He's a young person.
Well, I mean, you did get a sense of, like, a tip of what their struggles are in their own personal lives. I mean, Jake is dealing with his accident and what it's like to not be able to do all the things he used to do. And Alice is trying to figure out how to move on past her panic attack.
Yeah.
Both having changes of life. Sounds like big changes aren't always fun.
That's why I like listen to the first 2 chapters again so that I don't skip ahead.
Yeah.
so I wanted to make sure I stuck to the material in front of us first.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Good job, Mama Chris. Good
Well
job.
done. Gold star for you.
Good job.
I think if I had to pull a similarity out of my hat, it would be that they're both overcoming very traumatic events, but different scales of trauma. Because isn't she getting over the loss of her parents and trying to pick up the family business with the beekeeping?
I guess
and
you could.
He is trying to pick up the pieces of his life.
That.
He's trying to pick up the pieces of his life and trying to make adjustments to living without the use of the rest of his body. So they're both coming off of some really strong traumas.
Yeah. Hubby says, our youngest can't stand it when I'm on the table, even backstage, and my camera is on. He is the main reason you don't see me, because he is a freaking ham. He has to go to the bathroom. He goes to the bathroom. He's all done, and he sits in front of the full-length mirror and tells himself stories for 20 minutes. Like, I have to pee. It's mother's prerogative.
Well, there's also something else that Alice is dealing with, because towards the end of the chapter, she didn't realize she was speeding when she hit the curve at the top of the hill. She was thinking about her husband, who everyone knew as Buddy. Buddy, who had arrived so suddenly in her quiet life, bringing such an unexpected happiness. Buddy, who was now gone.
Oh, right.
So,
see, she's dealing with the loss of like other people, and he's dealing with the loss of himself as what he knew himself to be. So,
and
his dad's kind of a butt munch.
Yeah, his dad is really, really rude. His dad, Jake is really good at playing the trumpet.
Oh, okay.
He's a musician, and he's not playing a trumpet anymore.
And he's been good at it since he was in grade school, and he's done and graduated high school now. But since his accident, he
lost his scholarships.
Yeah.
And his dad refused to help pay for his way to college. So because of hold on. I thought that the reason why he was at the party was because of the fact that he knew he wasn't going to be able to go to college. So it was kind of fuck it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So I can't necessarily say he lost the scholarships because of the accident.
His grades weren't very good.
He lost the scholarship because his dad, like a lot of closed-minded parents, they don't believe the arts will lead to a career.
Right. So
he's like, screw this. I'm not going to pay for it so that you can go flitter off, at music school.
Yeah.
And it was just 25% of tuition. He had busted his butt and got 75% of his tuition paid for. And his dad wouldn't help him a little bit.
That's what it was. And then because of the fact that his dad refused to help him, he said, well, I did all of this work for nothing. And I gotta say, if I'd have been in his shoes, I'd have probably said and done the same damn thing. If I'd have busted my ass and did that much work and got that far, only to find out that the little bit of help that I needed, just the teeny bit that I needed, and was told, no, we're not going to give you the last piece of the puzzle you need so you can go live out your dreams and have a life and make your own decisions and learn from your own mistakes. No, we want you to stay and do whatever the hell we want you to do, so we're not going to help you. I'd be like, fuck that.
You think if he would have bartered, though? Do you think if he would have bartered with his dad, do you think his dad would have gave in? Or
probably not. It doesn't seem like it because his dad already doesn't believe in his child to begin with.
Okay.
He had
said at your age I was working full time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't seem like his dad was going to be one that you could reason with. He's set in his ways and he's going to do what he thinks you should do and thinks that he's looking out for you, and in reality you're just pushing your child away at that point. when you don't show that you believe in them or their dreams, or at least try to have a rational conversation with them. Because let's face it, at his age, he's practically an adult. So you need to have an adult conversation, but it sounds like Dad's got some skeletons in his own closet that we may find later.
And where was the mom? Do we remember what the mom was doing during all this?
Right there beside of Jake the entire time, begging her husband to help, like she is Jake's biggest, hero and cheerleader, and
she's his support system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing everything in her power that she possibly can. Right there with him through, the hospital stay, physical therapy, learning how to do the physical therapy.
I still think Dad's got skeletons in his closet that we're going to find out later on.
Yeah.
He's got some,
I think so too.
In my experience from other books and other stories, whether it be movies, TV shows, anytime the parent is not supportive in literature, there's always some underlying backstory reason as to why the dad is no, I don't want you to grow up and be a musician. Because it's either, in some cases, it's because mom was a singer and mom died of drugs and got hooked on drugs and stuff like that. We've seen that time and time again. We've also seen where dad maybe himself tried out to do these things and didn't succeed, so he wants his son to work and make money rather than try to live off of hopes and dreams. It could be anything. It could be that there's a connection later on between the families that we don't learn about until later. Maybe her husband knew the dad, or maybe there's a relationship there we're not aware of yet, because we're only 2 chapters in. I hope there's a cool plot twist like that though, where it's dun dun dun.
Maybe Dad's not such a big butthead after all.
For the dad's sake, I hope he's not that much of an asshole. But in literature, it can go either way. It's what keeps you reading from page to page, because you're just was Dad going to improve today? Nope, he did not. Let's try again next week. Where there's life, there's hope. So as long as the character's still alive in the book, maybe there's change coming.
So I feel like they both, Alice and both Jake, they both have parent problems because they both want to please their parents. I feel like Jake wants to please his dad, sort of, kind of. Don't you think?
I don't think he wants to please his dad as much as he wants his dad to support him. He wants his
dad's
dreams.
approval.
He's looking for I was gonna say just being noticed for what you are.
Alice's parents, she feels, don't you think that she feels like she has to keep doing the bee thing because her parents did the bee thing?
I don't think so.
Her parents didn't do the bee thing. They were the orchard people.
They were the orchard people. Okay.
Yeah.
Got that wrong.
She just worked alongside her parents because her bees helped pollinate their orchard.
Oh, right. Okay.
And there was somebody else that was involved, if I'm not mistaken. Wasn't there another group of people that were friends with her parents or that know her that are still alive? Or I'm a little lost or a little fuzzy on my memory as to who those people were. Maybe she was talking about her parents, but she referred to them by their first names. But I want to say there was some
She did talk about her parents in the first names.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
She was struggling with, her dream had always been to take over the orchard. But with all of the changes from the county and how they wanted things done and the pressure from the big orchard, they decided that they didn't want to put all of that on her. So they decided to sell instead of, passing it on to her. So there is some struggles, not being able to take over that family business.
Okay, then it seems like they're almost equal but opposites, because it's there's not a family business, so to speak, in Jake's storyline.
Right.
but it's a struggle with business and future and career and a dream that's he wishes he could achieve, but obviously now that seems like a pipe dream, because I mean you kind of do have to have hands to play trumpet.
Yeah.
And
So is he
for
paralyzed with the
her-
neck down?
Wait, he has his hand, use of his hand.
Yeah, it's
It says
like
he was a quadriplegic.
it's a paraplegic. It's
Oh, paraplegic. I thought it
11
said
and 12. I can't remember if it's. I think
down.
it's L 11 and 12. It's
Yeah.
an incomplete spinal injury.
Yeah.
Oh,
He should be able.
So
He'll have to learn. He would have to learn new breathing techniques, but he could still.
I hope that somewhere in the magic of literature, that since it's an incomplete fracture, I misunderstood. I thought he was a quadriplegic, but he is a paraplegic. So I'm wondering if either he finds a way to like push past the struggle and reteaches himself how to play trumpet, or maybe his spinal injury throughout the book will start to like heal itself, and then he would regain the use over time. Because I have seen in a lot of stories where people have gotten injured or shot in the back, and then through time and perseverance with physical therapy and other things, that their body was able to repair the damage that was done, and the swelling goes down on the nerves, and they're able to regain their mobility that they once lost.
Right. I've heard of that too, actually. Yeah. Yep.
But
Good
I'm interested
point.
to see,
Yeah.
based off of the title, how it's going to go into music of the bees, of how his
How it all ties in.
career choice is going to tie in with her career choice, because I know it's coming.
It's gotta.
Like maybe he's going to play the trumpet for the bees.
Oh.
That's a good idea.
Wow.
And the music like helps soothe the bees, or helps with like their productivity or something along those lines.
That would be cool.
Wow. Jellybean's got all these ideas.
Mm-hmm.
she's a
Welcome to
thinker.
ADHD. I'm your host, anxious
I'm
and
your
afraid.
We're changing it to Dave. God fucking damn it, Dave. I love that audio. It cracks me up every time I hear it.
Oh, Vixie.
I don't know why. I slept. Not a lot, but I slept.
Oh, dude, don't feel like
You're
a Lone
packing a lot of
Ranger.
shows into your working days.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
like you went from like a couple shows a few nights a week to we're gonna go full blast gung ho all
This is how we
speed
started,
ahead.
actually.
Full steam ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship,
Flying through the skies. little
planet
Eliza.
Flipside.
My youngest loves that show because the kid who's the captain, his name is Liam.
Oh.
I remember watching that show with my kids.
Yeah, I had all the Baby Einstein stuff. I was really into the Baby Einstein flashcards. And my girl child found them. She was really young, but she was flipping through them, and she'd say what the animals were. And I never went through that deck with her yet. I wasn't planning on doing that one yet. We're still working on shapes. And it just blew our minds. She could read it. I mean, how many kids do you know who could read the word giraffe the first time they saw it? So, I know, she's a smart cookie. Books.
Mine's almost 11, and I don't know if she could sound out giraffe at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sounds in that word.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She talks a lot, but a lot of it's echolalia, so we got to figure it out. Her one that she usually does is, "Where are you, Daddy? Where's my daddy?"
Oh.
Hubby,
Sometimes
you are
it happens
so
at like 3
loved.
o'clock in the morning. What do you want, child? Go to sleep.
Where are you, Daddy? Daddy's sleeping.
Hello,
Go, should you?
Esme. Hello, Daddy.
Hello,
What about
child. It is time for you to go to sleep. But the sky is awake, so I am
does this-
awake.
She does this thing that a lot of
Time
people
to play.
she's like, mm-mm. But I'm like, I'm coming out there. She's like, mm-mm.
Oh, no.
Daddy.
Oh.
Daddy's girl.
I was going to say, mine is definitely Daddy's girl. For the first 6 months of her life, she would not go into full sleep until Daddy came home from work and they had their cuddle time.
Yeah.
So he'd walk through the door, get settled,
Aw.
baby in his lap, mommy to sleep for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
I was never that fortunate when my little ones were born. My oldest was in a NICU for a couple weeks, and then she went to convalescence, so she didn't even come home until she was over a month old. And because of the situation surrounding her birth, I didn't get to hold her for the first couple days after she was born. And so everybody else by that point had laid hands on my child before I did. And so she was pretty much attached to everyone in my family but me. And so I was the one home with her a lot. Postpartum depression was horrible because there were so many times this poor child had acid reflux really bad. And we did everything possible to try and fix it for her, because no matter how much you fed her, she would not just spit up, but it was like projectile, like The Exorcist every time. And we tried all the different feeding techniques, different burping techniques. Nothing worked. And so there was this one time, it was just me and her, and I had just fed her, set her in her little bouncy seat just so she could sit and digest beside me, and then she hiccuped, and it went everywhere. And I said, well, I'll take you to the bath and we'll get you cleaned up and changed. Well, we got halfway down the hallway and she did it again. So it was all over me and her at this point. It's dripping off of me onto the floor. And so essentially, just me and her, I had to figure out how to, the cleanest way possible, get myself undressed, get her little tiny body undressed, and get us both in the shower, get us both cleaned off without setting down the baby. I could not put her down. There was nowhere to place her. And
It scares me. I've done that before. Someone's like, just take me to the shower with you. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. That was not a good idea for me.
It worked out.
I almost dropped my boy.
We both survived. Nobody was
had little
dropped.
sling tubs.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never done it. Cassie would not let me shower without her. So I had a little sling tub that sat in the bottom of the shower, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna drop you.
Yeah, that's
Sit there.
I washed all my kids in the kitchen sink until they were too big.
Oh, we did too. But at
It's
this
just
point,
easier.
you got it
Yeah.
all over yourself and
Oh,
the
yeah.
child. Because I was originally just going to take off her little outfit she was in that was covered with yuck, put it in the
And
bathroom
washy,
sink
washy.
so I could rinse it out later, and go take her in the kitchen, run some water, and clean her up. Because that's where we kept her, in the sink for, I don't even know. I want to say this child was over a year old when we were still washing her in the sink, in the kitchen, because she was so tiny. There was no need for a bathtub for her. No need. She was only like 4 pounds when she came home from the hospital. She just, and then when we finally got her on baby food, she wasn't picky. That was the one time of her life she wasn't picky. She loved everything you fed her until she yacked it, and then she was like, nope, don't want it anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't taste the same the second time.
And luckily, with baby food, her yakking was like very minimal.
Oh, that's
so once we got her off of formula, she seemed to do fine. I think, in my personal opinion, she was having some sort of a reaction, or her gut was, to the Enfamil brand. Because, see, back in 2009, here in North Carolina, Medicaid and WIC had a contract with Enfamil.
Yeah.
Well, when she was born and was in the hospital used what they had on hand. I mean, obviously, I was trying to pump with a pump at home to try and take milk up to her, but I was 18, trying to use a machine to do something that your body needs a baby to do naturally, and it just did not work out for me with her. And so they had to put her on formula, so they put her on Similac formula to supplement. And she did great with that. She didn't start having any digestive issues or spitting up other than like a normal baby spit up until we switched her to the Enfamil that I had no choice but to give her. And I went back and forth to doctors. I went back and forth with the WIC people and was like, look, I understand that y'all got this contract or whatever, but there's got to be some sort of an exception. My kid is like dealing with failure to thrive. She's been diagnosed with that. She's got all these other things going on with her, and I think it's because of this Enfamil brand formula. We've tried like every
Did you get a
subtype on the shelf. We even put her on the AR formula that we had to have a prescription for. And even that didn't help very much. We were having to do things that parents today are told do not ever do. And it was the only thing that we could do. Like putting the baby cereal in the bottle and having to like enlarge the nipple and all that stuff. Yep. It was the only way she could get food to stay in her stomach. The milk wouldn't stay.
Yeah.
Hubby brings up a good point. Our kids were so sick. The Nutramagen. Damn it, that's hard to say.
It is.
It's more the gold can, which was $35 a can. And
that's what Addie was on too.
The only way I got him through WIC is I took a subscription. A script from the doctor who said,
there we go.
She needs this one.
Yeah.
And if I'd have known back then and all what I know now and, you know, back then, it was just, there was not nearly as many kinds of formula on the shelf back in 2009 as there is today. Because back then you only had like the option of the regular milk, the preemie style, which was hard to find, the soy kind, which was like the Gentle Ease or whatever. That was the soy. Then you had AR, which was for acid reflux. So you had to have a prescription for that or pay $45 for a little can. And I want to say there was like one more. And they didn't have the Nutramagen yet. Or if they did, they didn't have it here.
I was going to say they did because I had my old.
They did have it. That's the one where the milk protein is broken down even further.
We didn't have that here. Not in North Carolina. They didn't have it on the shelves here. I know in 2013, when Poot was born, she was put on Nutramagen. Because I do recall that. But we just didn't have it when my oldest was going through all of that. Not saying they didn't make it, just saying they didn't have it here.
Yeah.
Because our stores around here, we tend to get everything last as far as the rest of the country.
Aww.
For some reason. Because I'll hear about stuff on like TikTok or through ads online, and I'll go to the stores that supposedly carry these products. They'll be available in the app, and then you go to the store to pick it up in person so you don't have to order it. And they're like, we don't have that. We don't even know what you're talking about. We've never seen that before. And we work here. And it's like, well, sounds like somebody needs to make some phone calls or check some emails.
So should we only have this for half an hour next week?
I don't know, because it depends on how far we go into the story. We might have more stuff to talk about. We're only at the beginning.
I was going to say, there are some chapters that do have a lot more going on. So keeping it the time wise,
And we can just
probably
BS.
would be a good. Yeah.
And if you wanna turn it off early, that's up to you.
Okay. As long as you guys aren't bored.
We could also add snack
Sweetheart,
time.
if the
to
two
the
below
book
us were
club.
bored, they would have made something up and gone off the table.
Okay.
I can always entertain.
We know you're extremely entertaining.
That's me.
Especially with
Entertain you.
avocado.
It's avocado.
The avocado.
It was my birthday present.
It's a happy to see you.
Good.
She talked for I don't know how long during Valentine's season about, we need to make a sticker or something that says "You guac my world" because I keep thinking about all these avocados and avocados everywhere. And so I saw one when I was out in town buying groceries, and I was like, "No way!" I was like, "I
It had
gotta."
a little, banner thing on it, but
It had a little box that had like gummy candy in it. And it said, "You guac my world."
That's so cute.
Eliza, wait till you see your present when you get it.
What present?
Yeah, see?
yeah.
You're getting me a present?
You guac my world.
Oh, that's cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah. I'm the bean. I sneaky. I do things.
Oh.
But you gotta wait until I finish with your stickers, so that way I can send them all at
Okay.
one time.
Okay.
But you do.
We
You got
took
the
some friends
present.
to this
You need to do
Hey.
a video unboxing though, if you would be so kind.
She knows what it is.
I
Please do a video
definitely
unboxing.
will. But I'm kind of afraid to.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
It's all pretty PG.
There's really no need to be afraid at all. I promise. There's nothing gonna jump out at you. Nothing's gonna jump
Okay.
and bite you. I promise. It's all. It's all
Okay.
good things. All good things.
Okay. Okay.
Things.
I don't send scary
Neta!
things unless you
Okay.
ask me
I don't
to.
even know it's
Okay.
too funny. So, are you all coming to play Mario Kart tonight?
I gotta find this berry bush.
You gotta find a
I
berry
got bedtime
bush.
in a half hour.
You have
Yeah.
to
And they're
what,
talking
a berry
about more
bush?
snow in Michigan.
Blame Rabbit. That's all I
Okay.
got. Blame Rabbit because he got me started on Dreamlight Valley, and
She's been searching for this blueberry bush for like 2 hours.
my mind has gotten hyper focused on putting all my berry bushes together and my fruit trees to make like an orchard around Wally's garden.
You can take a break in half.
I
an
gotta
hour.
find this one
You
berry
can
bush.
Take a break in half an hour to come play with us. Eileen.
This has been my break. I've had a break for an hour to decompress and get my brain on something else, and I'm still trying to figure out where the hell this blueberry bush went. And if I find out
It
that
went
they've
that
made,
away.
because he told me that there are 6 of each kind of bush. And so I'm like,
Okay.
I've got 5 blueberry bushes and 6 raspberry bushes. There's a
She's just
problem.
gonna keep going. Okay.
All
You
right,
have fun
everybody
with
doing
that.
good?
Okay. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you, bye.